The second puck has hit the Tim Hortons. We're going down. It's all over, boys. I want to read a little bit of Canadian salt before we go into the beauty part. Actually, till we go to the post YouTube news segment, but I thought we'd start us off strong. We got us. The second puck has hit the Tim Hortons. The curry smells wafting through the streets. It's over. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, the United States hockey team has won the gold in Olympic hockey for the first time since 1980. 1980, correct? And here they are celebrating against the CCP. I can't believe it. Actually, no. CCP is China. It's technically the USSR, SSSR. Anyways, against the Soviet Union. In case you're wanting to date this, the Soviet Union still exists and it's playing ice hockey. I think third was Finland. Shout out to our Finnish boys. We love the Finns, don't we, lads? Finns are great, and they don't have a fucking meltdown when somebody beats them in ice hockey. I know what the CCCP is. I just said it wrong because CCP. It's hard to say three C's. If Canada had become the 51st state, they would have won the gold medal. Fuck MAGA, fuck ice, fuck fascism. Well, that's your first fault. You're not going to get very far in ice hockey if you hate ice. That's that's a core issue. If you are vehemently against ice, you're not going to do well on the ice hockey team, okay? PPP not taking it well, saying fuck this gay country. I agree, but my heart's out to him and all the subs that were gambled away on betting for the Maple Boys as if they ever stood a fucking chance. The White House, in response to Justin Trudeau saying, you can't take our country and you can't take our game. But unfortunately, we did actually take their game. So the White House responded with a very tasteful picture of an American bald eagle hunting a Canadian goose with his little claws embedded into its back and upper neck or lower neck, chat. Quite epic indeed. Probably one of the funniest international posts ever made. And here is the salt by Kwawa assembled for me. Jabez says, look at the bright side, Canada. At least your son's transition and suicides are free. Chris Field says, at least we don't have to deal with mass shootings in our schools. Funny enough to argue about transition and shit like that when it's been made by your people, sick fucker. And then Jeebus replies correctly saying, you just had one last week, which is absolutely true. They did have a mass shooting just last week. Playa Haters says the Canadian flag is flying at half-mast today after losing the Olympic gold medal to the United States in hockey. And that appears to be the LGBT flag, which is sometimes the secondary official flag of Canada. This picture, by the way, this is exactly what I sent to PPP. No, it was a different picture. A bald eagle on half-mast Canadian flag in Vancouver. No, it is the same picture. Is not the symbol I needed this morning. And here we have our buddy, full of goose, just completely stuffed with goose, barely able to fly, just sitting on top of that thing like, yeah, fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. She's been perching there for months, watching over her nest and young eaglet, but it hits differently this morning. M says, bomb that whole stupid fucking country, hit every ugly player on that fuck-ass team with a semi-truck. Homan's top guy says Canada has become so spiritually Indian they're threatening to hit us with semi-trucks. They may have won the gold, but at least we still have democracy. Civil reaction replies, yep, at least you won't be fearful for getting snatched up by immigration. I'm not fearful at all, to be quite honest with you. I never worry about immigration. Conman the Cushman says, suck it, Canada, USA, 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 USA. And then Diaz Flack 89 replies, at least we don't have to worry about being shot by our own government. But hey, you won a hockey game. Go you. USA, 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 let's go. And then North Activist replies, at least our Canadian players can come home to a non-fascist government. Also, our Prime Minister almost certainly commemorate the U.S. team on how hard they fought while saying good things about our team. Trump is going to claim we lost because we did a trade deal with China and we deserved it. To which Back and Man replies, lol cope. Uh, Sea Wolves with Itchy Nuts says, Trump truth social post incoming LOL. Madame Bijou 11. See that name Bijou? It's everywhere. The main reason I wanted Canada to win was just so that we didn't have to hear Trump brag about a sport he's never seen. Banyan Thorn says he'll rub it in, then we'll rub 2020 in his face. Is that when you became a superpower, Banyan Thorn? A Canadian guy 39 says, I'm not going to be able to deal with Trump later today. So fresh and so clean says, so I'm sorry, but fascism won today, to be honest. Don't at me. This is propaganda material for Trump. Fuck that orange syphilitic pedo. Glass Star says, this is what you get for getting in bed with China. USA. Crackerjack says, at least we aren't fascists. Crazy Aaron says, you elected a felon. Memore 327 says, thank you for reminding us why it was such a good move on our part. Oh yeah, getting raped by China is going to work out real fucking well for you. Just like, you know what? They can't even buy a fucking house because all the Chinese millionaires are buying up their entire real estate portfolio. And they're just like, well, at least we're not getting raped by America. Go Canada. The weirdest thing is it feels more like we lost to Russia than the USA. It's interesting how feelings have changed. No longer a friendly rivalry. Funny how America can win gold, but they can never win democracy. Well, at least no American cheated in the Olympics like the Canadian. They cheated in curling. Canadians are really out there cheating in curling, chat. Curling. Honestly, if you fucking cheat in the game of sweeping, there are no rules. I'll come for your throat, buddy. I'll ask that you get hanged. We don't play that shit. U.S. are the definition of sore winners. They're the worst. The Olympic thread is full of annexation talk and just laughter at Canada. Ironically, now all the Canadian players will go back stateside to help them win Stanley Cups, LOL. Well, you know what, buddy boy? They want to join the winning team, USA. And now we have to pay them tariffs. We got so pwned. I was going to say, all this talk about fascism, it's like, it reminds me of how it was a really big deal in the 1936 Olympics that was it Usain Bolt who beat some German guy? It was like a big deal. Who won track in 1936 Olympics? It was Usain Bolt beat Jesse Owens, not Usain Bolt. Sorry. I look, there's only so many spaces in my brain for people of color. Listen. Okay, here's a history lesson, okay? In 1936, Jesse Owens, aka Usain Bolt, ran against for the gold, ran against a German runner, I want to say. And there was a lot of argument within the United States if a black man should be running against a German man in the Olympics because of the racial policies of Germany, and if it would make their claims that the United States is a mongrelized bastard country look credible if we were running a black man in the Olympics. Jesse Owens won. I think Hitler gave him like said something really nice to him, like in person, and then that was it. But we champion this to this day as proof that our diversity makes us stronger, because we discovered that one village in Uganda has extremely fast men, so we harvest them like a natural resource and run them in all of our track games ever since. And it's literally one specific region of like Ethiopia or Uganda has like the fastest people in the world, and we also deny that genetics has any component in certain things like that, even though we specifically hunt them down in Ethiopia, like this one village, because they're so fucking fast. FDR didn't acknowledge Jesse, but Adolf did. That is funny. So anyways, that's what happened. It was a big deal, and they talk about it, and the German guy lost, and go team. There's something else with this. Oh, so it's like, if this is like how that is, it's like, it would be like if the white guy, like they got the tallest, lengthiest, fastest Ugandan man that had ever existed, and they put them in the game that Germans most care about, which is obviously going to be track, because they got the Blitzkrieg and they like to go really super schnell and shit, right? So like, okay, you gotta win, buddy. And then just like some chubby American just beats them. It's like that's an epic ownage, okay? But this happened in reverse. It's Germany won. So fascism is rising. If this is like the Jesse Owens of 1936, this means that fascism wins in this timeline. Okay, that's my takeaway from this. Manfred Kirsch was the German 100-meter runner. Came in third after a Japanese guy. That is embarrassing.